Hello Year 12 and Year 13, welcome to this week's virtual assembly, the last assembly for this half term and the last one for Year 13 ever. We hope you all had a great week last week after finishing learning tasks and also hope most of you were able to start relaxing over the weekend. Now, after this week is over, we have a half-term break, and this half-term break is commonly known as Whitsun break, but how many of you actually know what that means? Well, Whitsun break centres around Pentecost, which is the Christian festival, which marks really the 7th Sunday and also the 50th day, hence the Penta bit. And Pentecost is a holy day which commemorates the descent of the Holy Spirit upon Christ's disciples after Easter. The main symbolism of the holy day is really the idea of the renewal of life. And so it's quite poignant, really, that right towards the end of this academic year, we get this opportunity to pause and reflect and come back maybe a little bit renewed for the last half term before we break for the summer. Now, I think every half term is a chance to kind of pause, rest and reflect. So maybe this half term, think about pausing yourself, take some time after the last really busy few weeks and just pause for a moment. Rest and take some time for yourselves in whatever you want to do to rest your body and mind. And also reflect, what are you quite proud of yourself for in how the last half term went and how the academic year so far has gone? And what are your next steps now? What are your next goals going forward for Year 12 for the last half term, and for Year 13, whatever it is that you've got lined up for yourself next? So this is what Whitsun's all about, but also over May half term on the Monday, then there's also going to be another very exciting event going on. And this event is known as Cooper's Hill Cheese Roll event that some of you may have heard of. And this has been taking place on this May bank holiday following the Whitsun Pentecost Sunday for absolutely ages. And what happens is it's Gloucester's cheese rolling, and it's one of the world's weirdest events that's quite well recognised. And it was actually even banned in 2010 because of safety concerns, but it's truly back and running, even during COVID, then they're hoping to still run it this year. And basically what it is participants race down a 200-yard long hill after a round of double Gloucester cheese, and whoever wins the race wins the cheese. Let's have a little look at this madness. And the madness continues, you get the idea. So please don't try that at home, Year 12 or Year 13. But, you know, maybe that's inspired you, and May half term may be a chance to try something different, cheese or no cheese. Or maybe just keep it simple and just pause, rest and reflect. I think that's what I recommend. Okay, so Going forward then, as I said at the beginning of the assembly, now you are at the end of learning tasks, which I'm sure will be a massive relief for the majority of you. So remember now the usual protocol when it comes to lesson attendance and absence. So all attendance is expected to all lessons. If you are going to be absent for a genuine reason, please make sure that you get somebody at home to ring up or to email in to verify your absence and why you're off, or bring in evidence afterwards. Also, remember that if a teacher isn't in for your lesson, then you still need to sign in with Mrs. Perks at the beginning of the lesson. Also, remember that coming onto site and off site, you need to remember to sign in or sign out. And please put the times there rather than just ticks in the case of a fire alarm when we need to know the exact timings of people that are there or not there. Now, moving forward, year 12 are just going to continue with your lessons as normal. There may be elements of AS syllabuses that your teachers want to finish off with you and make sure is covered because they provide a really key foundation for the year 13 course. And other subjects will be moving on then to the A2 or year 13 courses for BTEC when they deem appropriate. So lessons as normal. Also, just a reminder that beginning the Monday 28th of June, there'll be a Welsh Bac collapse timetable for those end 3 weeks. Just a reminder again, we know that obviously the deadline has passed for that letter to be handed in to confirm whether you're missing any days for anything like virtual work experience, etc., that can't be rearranged for another time. But if something crops up now in the meantime, such as a medical appointment that really can't be shifted, then please just make sure you pop and see Mrs. Perks and let her know. It's important we know of anybody that may be missing any time during those 3 weeks, as we're going to be doing some really important stuff for Welsh Bac. Okay, also then what's on? This slide is largely the same really as what I showed you last week, but just a reminder the Dr. Rose webinar programme is starting back up after half term, but please try to register for these events if that's available to you as quickly as possible to make sure that you get the reminders about that and that you're all signed up to it. So on the 8th of June, there'll be a talk on the history and international relations from an ex-student of ours. On the 9th of June, PwC will be given a great talk about their apprenticeship programmes, but also their graduate opportunities. This will be really relevant to a wide range of pupils. And also, if you're just one of these pupils that hasn't got a clue what they want to do yet, then it's so wide ranging. We definitely recommend you come along to that to maybe find out a little bit about PwC and the kind of things they do. But especially if you are interested in business, economics, finance, or IT, then very, very relevant to you. On the 15th of June as well, there'll be a webinar that Dr. Rose arranged with the Director of NHS England, who also happens to be an ex-student as well. So anybody interested in anything that comes under the healthcare system sector, should definitely be coming along to that one. Later then on the 22nd of June, this will be our very important UCAS process evening for students and parents and guardians. So it's encouraged that all students attend that, even if you're still undecided about going to university at the moment. And this will be a great insight for parents and guardians, especially if you're the first child in your family to go to university, or maybe you've got, older siblings or quite a gap where things may have changed in the UCAS process. It's really important that they can come along and get that information as well. And then on the 24th of June, there will also be a talk on careers in sport from another ex-student who happens to be the Olympic team manager. So that's very impressive. And for those of you taking sport at the moment and looking for, ways into the industry and what you can do with that qualification, or what you can do with a qualification if you're hoping to study it higher up, then this would be really interesting for you to come along to. Other opportunities that are going on externally. Again, this is largely similar to the slide I showed you last time. Remember the Modern Foreign Languages Summer School at Oxford. The deadline for this is the 31st of May, so you've still got time, and you've got time at the beginning of half term to apply for this. Cambridge masterclasses are also running throughout May to August. Remember that there's 16, so there's loads of different subjects, more than I could put on this slide, but everything from law to engineering to music to earth sciences and much more. So please have a little look on there. Abbey Uni as well are doing lots of webinars on psychology, veterinary science, physics, geography, maths, and many more. Again, running from a programme between May and July, but they have specific dates. So make sure you review Dr. Rose emails and then go onto their website and then book some in your diary. There's also going to be Sky Virtual Work Experience available from the 2nd of June. Sorry, that sounds really, really interesting. So if that sounds appealing to you, then have a check out of that. There's going to be a Girls in STEM event running from Thursday the 11th to Friday the 12th of June. So any girls that are interested in any of the subjects that come under STEM, then please pop along to that. A new one on here as well, though, that Dr. Rose emailed out this week is Cardiff Uni Medical School are going to be hosting applicants conferences. There's going to be one on the 12th of June, but also another one on the 13th of June. But the email does advise that the 12th of June one is aimed more towards prospective medical students in year 10 and 11. So it does recommend that years 12 and 13s, that the 13th of June date is more applicable to you. So have a look at that, anybody considering applying for medicine. Also a reminder about the Oxford Taster Days. These are just 3 main ones at the moment. Music on the 31st of May, Modern Foreign Languages on the 2nd of June, and Women in Science on the 4th of June. And Dr. Rose also emailed up about Head Start workshops, which he really recommends. We've got some students which have had excellent experiences with these before, and they're going to be running workshops on engineering, computing and product design on dates between the 28th of June to 2nd of July. So if you're interested in one of those subjects there, check out which date applies and get yourself signed out. And then I don't know if you can quite see that on the screen because it's disappeared on mine, but also a reminder as well about Open Learn and all the resources on there about getting university ready. So before I just want to say goodbye to year 13, just a reminder that when we are around the school site this week, that we're doing everything to keep each other's safe and respecting the school environment and each other. So remember, obviously, to continue wearing masks at all times, unless you're eating or drinking. Please abide by the one-way system. Even when it's quiet, it's really important that we're all sticking to this to keep each other safe. Sanitize as regularly as you can, but particularly on entering new spaces such as a study room or a classroom. Try to socially distance, particularly from staff and other year groups. I know you don't have to do it as much with each other, but from staff and different year groups, it's important that you're keeping the rest of the school community safe. And lastly, remember, if you need to pick up any lateral flow tests, then please come and pick these up as well. They're available from Mrs. Perks's desk. You can just even come and get them when she's not there, as long as you just sign your name to confirm that you've taken another pack. And lastly, a goodbye and good luck to year 13, although we're lucky enough to be saying goodbye and good luck to them in person on this Thursday, when we're going to be allowed to have a special assembly for them and a school leavers photo, which sounds like the simplest of things and is something we take for granted every year. But year 13 last year didn't get this, and we really didn't think it was going to happen this year. So we're really, really happy about that. I won't say too much about year 13 because we'll get a chance to say everything we want to them on Thursday. But just a reminder for any year 13s watching this that it's a 9 a.m. start on the Thursday. Remember to still bring your face mask because you'll need that, obviously not doing the photo. Although I wonder if we should have a face mask photo as well. But you will need it when you're watching the assembly and when you're on school site. And also a reminder about perfect, pristine uniform. Otherwise, unfortunately, you won't be allowed in the whole year group photo. If you do want a friendship photo, the colour photo are going to be taking those as well. But for that one, you do need to come with £7 cash on you if you want a friendship photo. So if you know that you and your group of friends want that, then just come prepared for that because we don't want anybody to be disappointed on the day. Okay. But yeah, the sixth form is going to feel like a much quieter place after half term with only year 12s running the roost without year 13 there. But I'm sure we'll all miss them incredibly and wish them all the best luck in whatever they do next. So for everybody, have a fantastic week. Take care and have a lovely half term as well for year 12 and come back rejuvenated, do a bit of cheese rolling or just pause, rest and reflect. And we'll see you all soon.